And to make it worse, those two went out like some suckers, went out like some jabronis, just pushovers. Can't throw a batarang, can't throw a nightstick because we know Dick Grayson, this Nightwing, didn't do anything. Just died out here, man. I don't like it. What's good people? Welcome to Whole Views. Thank you for clicking the thumbnail. My name is Corey, and today we're going to be discussing Batman, the Doom that came to Gotham. So indulge me for a few minutes while I express my disappointment, man. I didn't like this movie. I'm not saying that the movie was bad or done in a way that was unbecoming. It just was a cool idea that I just didn't care for it once I actually saw it play out. So I'll do the regular review on the front end, and then I'll do spoilers on the back end. Review is going to be relatively short because, again, nothing about the movie is technically bad. The visuals are nice, it's paced very well, and if you get into it, it's truly entertaining. My problem with the movie personally lies with the story. I just didn't care for the story that they were telling here. It sounds cool on paper, and I'll read you the synopsis. Explorer Bruce Wayne accidentally unleashes an ancient evil, expediting his return to Gotham City after a 2-decade hiatus in the 1920s. The logical, science-driven Batman must battle supernatural forces threatening the sheer existence of Gotham, along the way being aided by Green Arrow, James Gordon, and being confronted by Ra's al Ghul, Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc, Poison Ivy, and Two-Face. Now, all that stuff sounds fine on the surface, like it's a cool take, an Elseworld story where you get a 1920s Batman who still manages to have almost all of the same level of technical ability, but it's happening in the 1920s, so his Rose Gallery and their origins are going to be very, very different, and that is the part of the movie where you can either love it or hate it. And unfortunately, I fell along the lines of hating it, just not really liking the takes that they had on each individual character. So spoilers are gonna start right here. I'm gonna start talking about the details of the movie. If you haven't seen it, you should go check it out if you're interested, and then come back and check out the rest of the video. But here, we're gonna jump into the things that I thought were cool and the things that I just really didn't like. So starting off with number one, Oliver Queen. I did like the rehash on Oliver. He was an alcoholic, party boy, just like he is in the modern day comics, except he was also like a knight. He was armored up, equipped with different weapons, and still willing to go as far as it needed to go to help out Batman and rid Gotham of this evil. So it was cool. It was a cool little take on Ollie. I enjoyed seeing it. He was a jokester. He was a trickster. He did all those same things that he does in the comics. It's just, I didn't necessarily love the setting, but it was Oliver Queen was cool. His Green Arrow character, cool. I liked it. James Gordon, Killer Croc, and Ra's al Ghul were all pretty much unchanged. And when I say that, I mean, like, yes, they fit into the 1920s in the explanation. Like, Ra's al Ghul is way more mystical, magical here than he ever is. But he comes about in the normal way that he comes about, coming out of a Lazarus pit and doing all the mystical stuff with these ancient books. And he's been alive this long amount of time. All that stuff is still true about Ra's here. And Killer Croc is just a henchman, just like he is in most of the time when he shows up. He's just a henchman who does a job and then moves on. So all that stuff about those three characters, that was fine. Even though they were twisted for the 1920s, I was fine with them. They were good enough. But that's about it, actually, for my positives. Let's go into the things that I didn't like that this movie did. That, again, when you hear the 1920s premise on the surface, it sounds cool. Sounds like y'all gonna be doing something different, an Elseworld story. But some of the choices, I just, like, when I saw it, I was like, that's it. That's what we doing. So here we go. Let's start at the beginning with Cobblepot. Cobblepot is the Penguin. He is an explorer here. He's searching for something. Cobblepot ends up just being naked, butt naked, hanging out with penguins. Like, that is him, lurking in the distance. What? I don't like it. Mr. Freeze was a part of Cobblepot's expedition. He's just like possessed by some demon and carrying something from this frozen Antarctic region back to Gotham. Again, I like the way the character developed, like he was this frost demon like thing, but then at the same time, it's like, what? Why such a great departure from Mr. Freeze? I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. Then at one point in the film, Mr. Freeze gets eliminated and he like throws up a spore or a seed of some sort that turns into some type of mystical demon that is poison ivy. So poison ivy is nothing more than a demon or in this world, which is I guess I don't follow. I don't really care for it, but I guess if that's what y'all want to do. And moving that thread along, Harvey Dent is in the movie, like his character, like the way they had him playing. He's gonna be the mayor, not gonna be the DA. Harvey Dent's the man, right? He becomes Two-Face based on being Poison Ivy's victim. He does nothing wrong. He doesn't do anything sinister as Two-Face. He's just there, and he's a victim of Poison Ivy. She scratches his hand, and he turns purple and grotesque on one side. And that is it. Like, that is it. Very underwhelming. You have Professor Langstrom in this movie, and it's like, okay, cool. This is a really more obscure Batman villain, the Manbat. But in this movie, he doesn't become the Manbat. Bruce becomes Manbat. I get it for the story purposes. It's logical if you follow the thread of the story of the movie, but I don't like this. I don't like this. And the biggest thing that I didn't care for in the implementation and the adaptation of these characters for this 1920s storyline is that Dick Grayson and Jason Todd are just random kids that Bruce finds at some port around the world, and he just takes them with him. Doesn't train them, doesn't do anything special with them. When they pass, it is as if he could care less. I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit. And to make it worse, those two went out like some suckers, went out like some jabronis, just pushovers. Can't throw a batarang, can't throw a nightstick, because we know Dick Grayson, this Nightwing, didn't do anything, just died out here, man. I don't like it. Now, that's not me saying that this movie is trash. Like, I was entertained by it. I watched it from start to finish. I paused, from time to time to think about what was actually going on. But to say, oh yeah, I would pay money to see this again, or I would jump through hoops to get this in front of a different group of people and have a conversation about this movie based off of my take on it and their take on it, like, nah, I'm good. I'm really good. I'll pass on all that. Everything that I saw here was good enough to see one time. Cool idea, take Batman, put him in the 1920s, make the magic and mysticism real, and make Bruce have to deal with that, as well as, like, let's not even do quarter hours. Let's make all the backstory mystical, magical, and make Thomas Wayne be connected to some occult type stuff. Let's do all that. All of it sounds fine on paper. Maybe it works well in a comic. I feel like it really would work well in a comic because you have a longer format. But here, what we get in this little 90-minute fill-in movie, it's like, I don't like the way y'all doing these characters, the way y'all changing them to make them fit this story. Just didn't care for it, and that's just me. People might like it and enjoy it, but I'm not one of those people this time around. But I beg you, I implore you, let me know something in the comment section. Did you enjoy this version of Batman in this animated film? Because I feel quite a bit let down. So those are the thoughts. Let me know yours. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and go watch something good.